But we sure knew those mountains real well. Gaylord, I think it was Gaylord Hanson and I. We went up on Mount Roberts. Now, when we first hit Mount Roberts, it had a lone peak, and the last lone. I mean, the trail, which had gone up through the woods, and then when it hit timberline, they drove stakes, wooden stakes in, to where you'd know where it was. And Dean and I, we went up there in the wintertime, and the darn snow was on the ground, and you couldn't tell where the damn snow ended, and the cornice, they call them a cornice, where it overloads and blows and keeps freezing out here. Pretty soon you're standing out over 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
And that's where we were. And so we went up a year later, oh my God, I don't mean a year, yeah, it was a year later, over a year. And we decided we were going to go hike up there again. So we hiked up there, and we found out, my God, we've been out over that damn cornice. Standing, we got a picture taken of just the snow and all, but hell, that made an impression. Believe me, we watched out for cornices, because boy, I tell you, 1,000 feet, that can kill you.
Oh yeah, 20 feet will kill you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We came down that darn. One year we went up on the Mount Roberts. Roberts was at the last, it was sheer on one side and very steep on the other, very narrow. But it was navigable, and it had stakes going up there to show where one stake to another where you traveled. And Dean and I, no, it was Gaylord and I think, we went up there and got pretty late. So we saw we didn't have time to go back down this way, but there were slides that went down the mountainside. So we went down the mountainside on the slides, skipping around, jumping rock to rock and all that business. And got down, and it was the melt was still coming in from anything that high. And here was a great big flat rock right at the bottom. You couldn't go up this side, you couldn't go up that side. You were stuck in here and had to go up this side. And so we had to turn around and backtrack all the way up. Man, that's 1,000 feet back up. And we realized then that, my God, we hadn't quite gotten to where we'd go down anyway. So we decided we were going to have to turn around and go back down and find another slide. So we went down, and damn, here was the cut, coming from the water toward here. So we had a choice, because there was a big flat rock on the other side, and normally I think we've even jumped that in the summertime, after the spring melt ran off. No, you didn't go across any damn creek that high in early summer, because it was still melting and pouring down over. And so we started down this thing. We got down at the bottom, and here was this rushing torrent, a big creek, and it was on the other side was this flat rock, and it had a good foothold if you could jump far enough. And so, how to do it? And I said, well, Gaylord, I'll tell you what, we both got rifles. Unsling your rifle so that we can lower it a little bit. I said, and then you can jump, and then I'll jump, because they were stranded up there too. And so we came down, back down the slide again, and got down there. There was still plenty of daylight, because daylight in the summertime lasts a long time up there. So I said, I'll jump first. Now, we were up higher, but it was a pretty damn good jump too. So I circled around, then I got just a little run, and I tossed my rifle to Gaylord, I think it was, because he was slighter. He wasn't as strong as I was, or as big and rangy. So I jumped first, and I made the rock far enough so I could reach up and grab the top of it and pull myself up. So I did. Now that still leaves Gaylord and 2 rifles on the other side. So I told him, I said, get down a ways further. Don't get down beyond that because it's too slippery and too wet, and you'll go right down the chute. So I jumped, and I jumped first. So I got a hold of the top, and then I unslung my rifle and leaned over so that my feet were, my legs were all, I jackknifed. And jumped it, got a little run and jumped it and made it. Now I got a bruised knee out of it, but what the hell? It's all adventure. And I sprawled out over that rock and grabbed the top. Then I lay across it and got myself braced in. And Gaylord jumped. He couldn't jump as far as I could. But I swung my feet down there when I saw that he wasn't going to make it up. He was sliding back. And he grabbed the bottom of my feet. Here we were hanging over that damn torrent of a creek.
Oh my.
And so I said, climb up over me. And so he climbed up over me. I said, get your feet out of my face. And so he got out, and then we had an easy way down.
Jeez.
On a road that went up to Perseverance. But yeah, we got way back in the mountains one time. The Alaska Juneau gold mine was a big operation, but as far back as we were, we realized that, you know, hell was not likely to be anybody back this far on the mountain, on those under mountain caves and runs and what have you. So we prepared ourselves, you know, for the jump. He climbed up all over me, and he said, "Can you hold?" I said, "Damn right." I had a foothold there too, along with it, because I'd changed my position. So he jumped, and he threw my rifle to me first, and so I unslung his rifle and held and leaned over that thing and held it down there, and he jumped and made it. Then he climbed up over me, and then we were on our way. And didn't think too much about it until we went back later, and just a year or two later, and by God, that was one hell of a torrent. So we must have gotten there before it really started melting. But boy, oh boy, what a country.